Have you got a child who's about to go off to university? I'm just going to talk in this episode about what feelings may emerge for you and to try and look at it through the lens of having gone to boarding school, because it's really difficult for all parents when your child leaves home. And what I am aware of through the lens of an ex-boarder is it can bring up even more emotions. So my second daughter is about to go off to university, and in many ways we are ready. What I'm aware of is that when they get to 18, 19, we get out of sync. I'm still getting up, needing to go to work from 8 till 7. She doesn't. She's on a gap year. She comes in at 2 o'clock in the morning sometimes, burns toast in the kitchen, wakes me up. We get to a point where our lives are just out of sync and start to think, I think it might be better if you're actually living with people your own age and the family structure doesn't work any longer. So we're ready. However, with that is the recognition that it's never going to be the same again. That actually 19 years has passed, and for me, I personally chose to bring my children up in the same city all their life, and it was something that I really wanted to do as a result of my own upbringing and not feeling like I belonged anywhere, that I came from anywhere, that I had somewhere that I could call home. And we're able to reflect on what this means now to leave, and it's scary, it's frightening to go off to somewhere new when your home is so familiar. And so we're sitting with all the anxiety that comes up with that, the grief, the sadness of letting go, the fact that her friends are going off to university and they're going to make new friends, as hopefully she will, but their friendship group is going to be broken and it's never going to be the same again. So we're sitting with that. So I'm aware of the emotion for myself, recognizing that this period of parenting is coming to an end. Part of me excited for this next chapter, and a lot of sadness and grief in that, oh really? Are we really at that stage? And then the other thing to be really aware of if you have gone to boarding school yourself, is I want to touch on complex PTSD. Because I really became aware that this emerged for myself 3 years ago when my first daughter went off to university. So all of a sudden I was overwhelmed with these feelings, even anger towards her for leaving. I felt rejected. The rational part of my head was saying, no, you're totally ready for her to go. This is the right thing. Isn't this amazing? She's going off to university. The logical, rational part of my brain was able to do that. But I suddenly had these really strong feelings and emotions, and I recognised that this was linked to my own experience of being left at boarding school at a young age that I hadn't fully processed. They got triggered in that moment. So when you take your child off to university and you go into their halls of residence and you're there with their bags and you're there with their bag of food / tuck, and you're taking them in to their little room where there's a single bed and you've got them a duvet cover and you're pinning photos on their pinball on the wall and there's a lamp and a desk. It's really familiar. And then comes that moment when you have to say goodbye. It's so replica of possibly your own experience when you went to boarding school. So prepare for that. Take a moment, take some time to really reflect on how this is going to be. Notice actually that you may be needing some support that day, that evening. Be kind to yourself, take care of yourself. And most importantly, don't shame yourself for feeling this way. Whatever emotions come up, recognize that this may be part of the reason why you're feeling them so strongly. And find that adult part of you that can give yourself that reassurance. I remember the first night that my eldest was away, speaking to her on the phone and her saying, this is really strange, I'm in my bed, I don't know who's in the room next to me, and really reflecting on, God, imagine what it would have been like for me when I was at school if I had had that phone that first night in the dormitory. Would I have called home and asked and spoken to my mum? And recognising the similarities but the differences. most importantly, that they're 19 and they're ready to go. And even though they're 19 and they're ready to leave home, still a lot of grief and feelings come up. So look after yourself if this is you, if you're a parent at this time and you're kind of approaching this. It's difficult, it really is. And it's just really time to celebrate yourself also for supporting your child to get to this point that they are willing and ready to leave home, that you've given them wings as such, and also to be tender towards the part of you that may also be really struggling with your own grief.